What's up, guys? This is Bobby Douglas, and today we are back again with another 2020 NBA Draft Prospect full game video breakdown. And today we're going to be looking at UNC point guard Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony was a very highly touted recruit coming out of high school, and McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand All-American, all those accolades he got. Got to UNC, kind of a tough situation. UNC didn't have the talent around that they usually do, and it was really coming into the season. It was going to be Cole Anthony's team. And mixed reviews on how he handled it. There have been a lot of rumors of intel calls and things like that saying that Cole Anthony wasn't really that good of a teammate and, was kind of all about himself. Other things I've seen, and, based on things that we've seen publicly at least, he did come back after he tore his meniscus when a lot of prospects, I think, would have bailed on that season. UNC by that point was already out of the tournament picture. They didn't have any hope outside of winning their conference tournament to get into the tournament. So I think that took a lot of integrity and honor from Cole Anthony to come back in that situation. And 18 and a half points a game on 38% shooting isn't great, but I think the lead guard scoring potential is there for him. Right now I have him 10th in my big board, and let's just watch his game. This game is against Notre Dame. They ended up losing this game by 1, and this game is fun because I was actually there at this game because I do go to Notre Dame, and I was able to watch Cole Anthony play. He had 23 points in this game and 6 assists, 3 rebounds. So a pretty solid all-around game from him. So let's watch this now. So he's number 2 in the Carolina Blue, obviously. He's got a weird headband. I don't know what happened with that. It's very close to his eyes, which I thought was strange. And right there, he immediately got an assist. So yeah, a lot of people really love Cole Anthony's athleticism. I'm not really sure if I see him as a super athletic guy. He'll always post videos of him dunking and things, and everyone will be like, oh wow, he's got bunnies. I'm not sure I really see the athleticism with him in terms of just what a point guard needs to be athletic. I mean, I'm sure he obviously has vertical athleticism in terms of just a lot of like horizontal movement and just off the dribble speed. I'm not really sure that's necessarily there in his game just yet. I thought coming out of high school, I thought he was an overrated athlete and I thought he was an overrated passer. I think at North Carolina, those things held true. I don't think he had the season that he was expecting, nor the season that a lot of people in the media and a lot of draft guys were expecting. So that's interesting. So we'll just watch him play. So he's got the ball right now. It's a good kick out. I want to see him guard, too. See how he's on defense. Did a decent job staying in front of Prentice Hub there. Again, right there, he took away Prentice Hub's left side, which is a smart scouting decision because Hub is a lefty, but he ultimately allowed a little bit of a drive inside there. Again, right there, he got kind of caught up, and again, the scouting report obviously is to force Hub right. It's almost like he's forcing himself to not guard. See, that's the type of shot Cole Anthony is really capable of making. He's very good at making tough twos. Again, he didn't shoot it very well, but he's a shot maker. You're expecting him to be a volume guy rather than an efficiency guy. Obviously, you'd like to see those shooting percentages go up because sub 40% is really bad. But again, he had no spacing on this Carolina team. He didn't have a lot of room to operate. So I'm not really taking shooting percentages necessarily into account. That time he got totally lost on that little loop around basket cut from Hub, and he just was trailing, didn't stay attached, and he ultimately led into the layup for Hub. So Notre Dame right now is in a 2-3 zone. They'll play this a lot in this game. Towards the end of the season, I obviously watch a lot of Notre Dame games. Towards the end of the season and against more athletic teams, they tended to, let's see if he gets that. Okay, that's a good pass, but they tended to run a lot of 2-3 zone, so just be aware of that, I would say. Do you got the ball here? That's another shot pass from Cole that could have been an assist. Again, this is a 2-3 zone, so a lot of the open gaps are going to be available for Cole Anthony to hit. So let's see what he does in transition here. It's a nice little one-handed bounce pass. Didn't really go anywhere with it. But again, I think Cole Anthony is really a bit more flash than he is substance at this point in his game. Not a bad thing, but he's a guy that over the accounts like Overtime, Ball is Life, all those accounts are going to just love Cole Anthony because he's got a very vibrant personality. He makes flashy passes, makes difficult shots. And, draft guys I think are going to be a little bit lower on Cole just because the efficiency wasn't really there this season. And again, I do think his athletic traits, while they are impressive, I do think they're a little bit overhyped. So that's something to look out for as well. Right now, I don't really see him being okay. So right now he has 2 out of his 6 assists right now. And his 2 assists came off an inbounds pass where he didn't really have to make a difficult read. And then he also got one right off the tip-off. So again, I want to see more live or half-court live ball assists from him. And again, that's tough because that's tough to do with a bad team. Let's see what he does here. So again, I think he's an adequate defender. I don't think he's really lockdown. I don't think he's a horrible defender. I think he could be a net relatively even on that end of the floor. But again, as we get more and more evolved with our point guard position, we're seeing a lot more tall guards, a lot more guards who can pass really well. I don't really like Cole Anthony in terms of his NBA fit as we head closer towards a league filled with 6'5" and up point guards, So that three's a little bit rushed. I think it caught back rim. Kind of looked off balance in that shot. He kind of faded away at the end. Let's see what he does here. So he's in Prentice Hub's grill. I like that full court pressure. I like when guards do that. I think he's a tough kid, though. I think he's a pretty good competitor. I think he has a nice motor. And again, coming back from a meniscus injury to a team that was pretty much hopeless, I mean, that's not something that you'll see a lot of prospects do. So I give him credit for that. That was a good hang dribble, a change of pace leading into a hang dribble. He got a pretty decent floater off as well. Could have gone in, but he ultimately drew the foul. So we will see free throws, I believe, when we come back here. Here we go. We got an ad here. So, a long ad too. So his free throw, we just saw him make that first free throw. He was a 75% shooter from the line, so that's solid. Honestly, I kind of see a little bit of Damian Lillard in his game. If you go back, I'm not sure if this game's on YouTube, but his first game in a North Carolina uniform was against Notre Dame, actually. And I believe he had 34 points, and he was making all sorts of really tough step-back threes and everything. I think he does have a little bit of Damian Lillard in his game. Obviously, that's a tough bar to reach. But I do think that's something that he could maybe model himself into. So he made both free throws there. So UNC looked like they were doing something where they were just sending the whole barnyard at the ball handler there. So Cole kind of ran out of position, but that's not really on him. That's more of a scheme thing. And I believe we got free throws here, or do we got an inbounds? It's like we got an inbounds. Not really involved in that play defensively. Did a decent job just staying ball man, staying solid and help defensive roles, I would say. Might have missed something here. Oh, I definitely missed something here. There we go. So here's Cole again. Let's see what he does here. There's Roy Williams. Kobe White was also at this game as well. I don't know if they're going to show him at any time, but he was sitting right behind the UNC bench. Kobe White, and I believe there was one other NBA player, because this was during the All-Star break, so it was a time where a lot of NBA guys visit their former colleges and stuff. So he's on Hub again. Again, right there, it looked like he was a little bit flat-footed in his stance. Hub didn't really exploit anything right there, but it looked like it was kind of just like a a feigned effort from Cole. He just had one hand up right there. I do think Anthony is capable of being a decent defender at the NBA level. I really do. So he's coming off this floppy set right there. Nothing really happening there. So again, he's going to pick up ball here. See what he does. Decent job staying in front. Tagged Mooney well there too. I don't know if you guys saw that. But actually, okay, so Cole's man hit a three there, but Cole also had to tag John Mooney. He's one of the best big men in college basketball this past year. He tagged him, then he had to recover out to Hub, where he did get a decent shot contest off. That's just a tough shot from Hub. So here's Cole again. I do think Cole's overall court presence and energy, that time he got a decent contest up. He kind of came from the paint and saw that pull-up three coming from a mile away. Good instincts there. I think Cole's a smart kid. I think people say that he's a little bit self-absorbed. And that kind of may scare a few teams off. Did a good job just sticking with that screen. He didn't give up after he got hit by the screen. He got a little bit bumped off a little bit, but he did a good job staying a little bit attached and just ultimately just picking up his man again. And that's a good pass right there. But again, this UNC team was just like really poorly constructed. A lot of Carolina teams will have two big starting lineups, and this one did in Armando Bacot and Garrison Brooks. So that was a horn set from North Carolina, and it was a double. Looked like a either side ball screen. Let's see what he does here. See, that's a pretty good dribble move right there. Settled for a lot of pull-up twos this season as well. Again, he's a tough shot maker, but he's also a tough shot taker. And a lot of those tough shots, they won't go in. So you look at a shot from like that, total air ball, probably could have gotten to the rim. If he's so athletic, why is he settling for mid-range jump shots on the fast break when he could just finish over guys? Another question mark in his game. He does settle a lot for tough twos. So yeah, that's something to look out for as well. Let's see. Yes, okay, we got a little bit more time before Cole is taken out for a little bit. He played 38 minutes in this game, and I think he played the entire second half, so good job cutting off that pass to TJ Gibbs there. Now he's on the ball. Good job fighting over that screen and staying in front. So we got a media timeout here, and then another ad. Wow, they're really timing up these ads with the media timeouts. I wonder if that's a thing. So here we go. We got another foul here, so I'll skip these free throws. So Cole just did a big advance pass right there, and now I think he's probably going to get the ball back. Yeah. Good job getting around that hedge. There's also a little bit of Russell Westbrook in his game where he's really not afraid to go after rebounds. Again, 6 rebounds a game, which is pretty good for a guard that's only 6'3". I think he does kind of have that dog mentality where he's just kind of like, I'm the alpha, get the ball to me, which is good in some cases if your talent backs that up. I'm not necessarily sure Cole Anthony's talent does back that mentality up, but again, it's a good mentality to have if your talent's good. So if he does have that talent, which I'm not super convinced about right now, it could be a pretty big swing factor. So right there, he did a good job out of a scramble, and he ended up closing out, I believe, on that was TJ Gibbs. And then, let's see if they show it again. I don't know if this is the play. I think this is just Dwan Durham, yeah. But he did a good job out of scramble, just holding up and getting a shot contest, and then ultimately being ready again for the help on a drive baseline. So that was pretty overall good from Anthony right there. And right now he is out, so I'll skip ahead to 17:49 is when he comes back in. So then he's in for the rest of the game, I believe. So that's also interesting. So 17:49, here we go. So Cole is back in. He's guarding Prentice Hub number 3 for Notre Dame. So he's on the ball right now. And so we got... So Cole's guarding in the post right now. Did a decent job kind of shutting off that drive. That time he just kind of got beat backdoor from John Mooney. See, that's another one of those shots where we saw him make a similar shot to that earlier in this half. But again, he kind of just went 1-on-3. And I don't know if a lot of that is going to be like... I don't know if a lot of that is just because he was asked to do a lot offensively, or if that's just in his mentality as a scorer, where in the NBA, I don't really necessarily think that'll fly. Because again, I don't think he's that good of a shooter at this point in his development. Clearly not that good of a finisher, only shooting 38% from the floor. So, it's something to look out for with him. He totally just fell into what Notre Dame's offense did right there. So they were kind of... Anthony was expecting a ball screen, and so he was helping, he was expecting a drive towards the middle, and wasn't expecting a screen. That allowed Hub, I believe, to go right around Anthony. So he just took that 3 and another miss. But he ultimately got burned on that drive. Or on that screen, excuse me. So here we go. He's on the ball again. Again, I really like they say he's 6'3". I think he looks smaller than that. You know, he's not one of those guys who looks big when you just watch him on the TV. And again, I really don't think he's that athletic for how athletic people say he is. I just think there are a lot more deficiencies with Cole Anthony than people seem to be willing to admit. So on the ball again. That was an extended horn, it looked like, from Notre Dame. Did a good job of avoiding that screen. You like to see a little bit more commitment to the help there, especially when I believe that was Goodwin, who was already elevated. At least maybe try to contest and get a hand up. He kind of stopped short there. Entry feed to Garrison Brooks led to a layup there from Cole. So here he is on the ball again. See, that's a solid rebound from Cole Anthony. He had to beat out John Mooney, who was one of the best rebounders. I think he was he was second in the nation in rebounds per game. So that's a pretty good rebound from Cole. And that's where I think the Russell Westbrook kind of comes into his game. I don't think he has the breakaway speed or athleticism that Westbrook has, but in terms of just being able to just go in and get rebounds, I think that's an underrated aspect of Cole Anthony's game. So we got another foul, looks like. I don't know why he's wearing his headband that low. Doesn't that look low? I feel like that so easily could just fall right over his eyes. But Good job creating separation on that little, looked like a fake cut, and he was really good at creating separation off of TJ Gibbs there. Again, I do think he's a physical player. I think he's aggressive, you know? And again, I don't really have any motor concerns with him. It's just a matter of just putting it all together. Not really the most engaged on-ball defender, I will say. But I think that's just like that. I think that's just how he plays. I don't know if that's really a motor thing. So here he is on the ball again. Good job being aware there. So he noticed that Hub picked up his dribble, and he immediately went to go attack or pressure up on Hub. So that makes me think he's more of a opportunistic defender rather than just like a guy who's going to totally hound you 24/7. I don't really think that's him. Another assist right there. That was off of pretty much a down screen action, it looked like. So a pretty easy read for another assist from Cole. So again, here he is on the ball. Starting to look a little bit more engaged. Moved his feet pretty well there. So we got another media timeout, I believe. Yes, we do. We have some buffer. No, there we go. Okay. We have another ad? Jeez. So many ads, man. All right, now we're back. So Cole is guarding TJ Gibbs right now. He's in the right side wing. Or left, if you look at it that way. Good job getting a little bit of a help defense there. That was pretty solid. And here he comes leading the break. Let's see what he does. He does anything here. See, that time he made that shot, but again, maybe try to get into the teeth of the defense a little bit more there. It was a good pull-up shot, and I do like that he has that in his game. See, now Hub picked up his dribble. Really good job just pressuring the ball. That's a good pass in transition. They couldn't do much with it, though. We get a foul there, yeah. So I'll skip these throws. Got another ad. Or not an ad, but just like another free throw. Good job staying active there. Good help. That's tough. He maybe overcommitted on that help. That led to a 2-on-1 scramble for Brandon Robinson, who picked the right person initially, then it left a wide open corner three, and then he just turned it over right there, trying to do too much with it. Another thing in his game, he really does try to overexert himself, I do think. That's just a So that's a little bit of a late rotation from Cole there. Led to an open 3, but he got a late contest up, so that was good. But I do think another issue is with Cole. Again, this ties into his aggression, and that's why I kind of liken him to Russell Westbrook in terms of that aspect of his game, because he really is just always going 100 miles an hour on offense. It leads to a lot of silly turnovers, a lot of forced mid-range jump shots, things of that nature. He always wipes his shoes off. Maybe, I don't know if it's just this game or another game too, but always wipes his shoes off heading down the floor on defense. So defensively, his stance right there, I'd like to see his arms out a little bit more. I think now he does. Right there, he got totally blitzed off the dribble. Not a good defensive sequence from him right there. Oh, he got drilled. They called the foul there. Good. Doubt anything happens in this last 1.1. Okay. So that's the end of the first half, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Cole Anthony. I will be back with the second half video as soon as this one is finished uploading. And yeah, we will see you then. Thanks for watching again.